What's up, guys? We are live. Welcome back to the Ange TV show, guys. We are back. It is Monday, and it is the last show until after Christmas, guys. So take it in, guys. Enjoy the time with your family this week. Have a very, very Merry Christmas. Please, guys, be very careful, though. Because of the new Omicron variant, guys, it's getting a bit out of hand. But guys, please stay safe. And like I said, all the best for the new year, guys. We have one more show till the new year, so I will wish you guys a happy new year when it gets to that point. Guys, today we have another very special guest waiting backstage. I want to give a shout out to Frankie McDonald, guys, for actually recommending this guest. And before I bring her on, guys, I just want to remind you guys to like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the Ange TV show. So our guest tonight, guys, is a fashion/fitness designer from Victoria, BC. She is none other than Imogen CookieBailey. What's up? What's up, Imogen? How you doing?
Long time. It's bong o'clock, man.
There you go, guys. Guys, get ready for a wild show. And we have another surprise for you, okay, guys? We have another surprise for you. He's waiting backstage. He's a co-host for tonight, an actual special guest appearance, none other than Mr. Frankie McDonald.
I'm so far. I'm located at the parking lot of former City Shopping Center Mall right now. They tore that mall down back in 2010, 2011. I'd like to introduce to another podcast, Base Guy Show. I go on the Base Guy Show on every Wednesday afternoon at 2:20 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. That is 1:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jack Casey, a.k.a. Base Guy Show. He lives in Montreal, West Island. That means that Base Guy will appear on your show.
Yes, that means Base Guy is going to be another guest on our show. But tonight, guys, we have Imogen on. So the big question, Imogen, who is Imogen CookieBailey?
Famous CookieBailey is the person on Joey Only show.
I love Frankie's answers. Frankie's the best. I like to say I'm the sum of my pixels, if that helps.
And the weather is cold outside of my area right now. There's a lot of and Monica Boyle lives in Bonaventure, Quebec. She's getting a lot of snow on Wednesday, where Monica Boyle lives in Bonaventure, Quebec. And Monica Boyle is another person on Joey Only show as well. And they're supposed to get a lot of rain in Los Angeles on Thursday.
Yeah, there was actually an earthquake, I think, guys, in California?
Yes, it was. 6-point-something magnitude in Eureka, California. And I got something to say. Base Guy will be coming on your show. And so is professional photographer John Ratchford, the guy who did the photo to me.
Oh my God, you're gonna get John Ratchford on the show, Frankie?
Yes.
Okay, when could that happen?
In New Year's sometime.
In the New Year's, we're gonna take some nice pictures. Frankie, you took some pictures, eh? You did a photo shoot, eh?
and did you hear about that? You'll be getting Base Guy on first.
Yeah, for sure. Imogen, I want to know something. How did you start your passion? How did you get interested in fitness, fashion, a lot of what you do? How did that all start?
That was just sort of something that happened. My introduction to fashion just came from a very limited supply of, as a kid, I didn't have trendy clothing. I wasn't part of a trend. I didn't really fit in with other kids. I was always a little step off. And a lot of the time, when I outgrew my clothing, I just hated clothing shopping so much, I would just modify it.
Yeah.
So, or just sort of like grab something from the rack. I'm like, this better fit. If it doesn't, that's too fucking bad. So I'd modify it to make it fit. And so my clothing was always weird and very custom. And it just sort of started from hating shopping, I guess.
You know what, Imogen? It's funny because I'm actually a big guy. So when I go shopping, and there's sometimes I don't find my pant size or my shirt size. So I have the same sentiment as you, Imogen.
Yeah.
It could get frustrating when you go clothes shopping and you can't find your size and everything. So that's a good initiative, Imogen, for sure.
Yeah.
So like I said, that's something you do, the fashion stuff. You're also into the fitness side, staying fit. You're really into that. You do a lot of exercises. Do you do also, do you eat like a lot of protein? Like, how do you complement the working out?
I do use some really good supplements that really just fuel it. two of my favorite supplements that I use that are very nutrition based. They're not exactly boosters, but they're very nutrition based. Is Greens Plus, and I use a protein mix by Phoenix.
Nice.
Phoenix Fit's one. They're not a sponsor. It's not. I'm not like plugging a sponsor. It's just that's a brand that I like. The other supplements that I use are the main ones are by Magnum Supplements. It's fasted cardio. It's a really good energizer. It is just brutal for nitrous. It's awesome.
So what are these for somebody that doesn't know like exercise and supplements and vitamins? What does it do? These supplements, like it helps you to get more energy, like.
Some of them do increase your energy. There's different plant complexes in there that help increase your energy. Some of them are like the protein. It's that it's hard to eat the amount of meat or plant-based protein that your body needs to build the muscle growth. So the supplements are a concentrated form of that. So that's what that does. Something like Greens Plus, it's basically dehydrated vegetables in powder form. So you mix it into a smoothie. And again, because it's damn near impossible to eat the amount of solid food, that's where a lot of these supplements come in, is that they complement proper nutrition. So if you're eating, you have your regular meals, you've got your rounded nutrition and your rounded diet.
Yeah.
Your body needs more. Bring it on. I'll drink it in a liquid form. Yeah.
J.A. Wild is in the building. What's up, J.A. Wild? By the way, guys, that is Frankie McDonald at the bottom. He's a YouTube weatherman. This guy is a sensation. Imogen's at the top. She's wearing the Count Dracula cosplay. Nice. Very interesting. PooTube is here. Is also in the building. Awesome. So I want to know something. This is something I don't know if you coined it. I don't know if you invented it, but you do it, right? It's called Weed Fit, right?
Weed Fit. Yes. I use cannabis in a lot of my workouts. Any end of day workout, it's got marijuana as a bit of an additive in there.
Nice.
What it does is it kind of helps me focus a little bit more. I can be a little ADD, so it kind of narrows my vision a little bit. So I'm focused on exactly what I'm doing. It also kind of helps to relax me in a sense, so that I have a habit of like tensing up really bad. And if I don't, especially at the end of the day, you tense up really bad, you start locking your joints, you're not paying attention. Yeah. The weed just helps me relax and focus and just go with it. And it also, because it does have a bit of, the strains I smoke do have painkiller effects, so I can push harder and go longer.
Wow.
So, I mean, I can't recommend it for everyone, but those who do it, they know that.
Jay Wild said, who's the hot chick? And then he said, oh, she's a fitness guru. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad someone liked my chocolate eyebrows.
Yeah. And Nixie said, hey, Ange, what's up, Nixie? How you doing, buddy? Listen, that's really cool because a lot of people would think like smoking and fitness doesn't go good together, right? You're coughing and it's harder to breathe, right, when you smoke. But I noticed on your Instagram's like videos, you're literally like have smoke in the air and everything.
Yes.
You're probably the first person I've seen smoking and working out.
There's breathing methods, there's breathing techniques to really mitigate the negative effect of actual smoke consumption. Okay. It's that at the point in the workout where I'm smoking, it's farther along, my heart rate's up, I've really oxygenated my entire bloodstream. So I've already got a bit of a rush from the endorphins from the workout. So the weed, a little bit goes a lot farther. Oh man, fitness adds nitrous to marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She said, yo, she smokes. You got to do that together sometime.
Hey,
Jay, what's up, Frankie?
If you want to watch Base Guy Show, go to www.baseguyshow.com. That means the Base Guy will be on your next show.
Okay, I'm going to book it up with a Base Guy for sure.
Awesome.
Frankie, I want to ask you a question. Do you smoke? Do you smoke anything?
I don't smoke. That means
smoke.
I go for walks and things like that. And did you hear about that? I'm on Gary and Dino's show on every Wednesday night and Saturday night. That means another internet radio show, Gary and Dino show. And I'm also on Jason Marshall with on that Cookies. Ray Campbell, main on Trey. And I was on Roger the Wild Cow show too. That means Roger the Wild Cow is going to be a guest on one of your shows.
Okay, awesome. Oh my God. Okay, so I want to know something, Imogen. You have the Body Solid Fit machine, right?
Yes, I do.
So
Absolutely.
so what is it exactly? Like what type of workouts can you do with the body? Do you have it like right next to you or
It's I'll show it to you.
no problem?
No. All right, let me turn the camera around if I can figure this out. You know what? I can't figure it out. So we'll go this way. So yeah, it's set up because I was doing some weird shit with it the other day. So I've got like sort of the cuffs on there, but
Yeah.
it's got a pull down station at the top. It's got another pulley here, so you can do crunches. You can sort of do all sorts of other stuff, pulling it towards you like upright rows.
Yeah.
It's got an entire leg station at the bottom. I've taken the bar. Yeah, I've taken that bar out for doing leg curls, so I've just got the bottom one down there. Yeah, it's really in depth. It's got a kick bar or it's got a leg press bar. Hold on.
Okay, so this machine you could do like everything with it. You could do every single type of workout.
Entire upper body. Yeah, entire upper body stuff. 160-pound weight stack. It's right next to my treadmill. It's
how much does this cost, this machine to work out?
That's a good question. I think I spent about $3,000 on it.
Okay, but it's
I think it was about $3,000.
But it's worth it because now everything's shut down. The gyms are closing here, so it's worth it to have a machine like that. Nixie has a question. He says, Imogen, do you work out with your bunny outfit?
With my bunny outfit, I have. Yes.
Y'all ever seen said, wow, Bottom is super cute. Y'all ever seen what's up? He's in the building as well. Actually, Noel is in the building. Noel Avasar is in the building. Said, I'd like to smoke then work her out, if you know what I mean.
I am roasting in this chocolate suit. Hi, man.
Oh my god.
Hi, hey.
So Imogen, you do also do modeling, right?
Yes, sir.
How did that get started? How did your modeling career get started?
That was actually this is going to sound really odd, but like a lot of my life is stuff like I don't relate to a lot of people with with a lot of normal experiences because I've always been like a step off.
Yeah.
But when I was quite young, there was just at some point when I was about 14, I guess, I started getting approached by random people who would ask if I was a model and if they could take a picture with me. It was weird.
Really? Okay.
And I never heard my friends had never had that experience, and it was extremely random. And so I thought I was being pranked. I thought it was like, so I actually started to get really self-conscious because these random people were saying, oh my God, can I take a picture with you? It's like, what's on my face? Like, did someone draw a dick on my face and I don't see it? Or is there like, did someone put a fucking sign on my back? Like, I seriously thought it was a horrible prank. And so, and then at some point it was just, I was dating someone who was in a metal band and I'm like, I hadn't given this much thought, but my other half is in a band. The band is doing really well. They're getting a lot of attention. I'm like, fuck it. If this putz is going to be a rock star, I'm just going to put it out there and see what happens. And all of a sudden, I'm like,
Faith guys is really best friends of mine.
Yes, we know Frankie. He's your best friend. We have a new visitor here. Okay, it's Eddie. He says she has one of my albums hanging on her wall. Is that true?
Yes, I have several. I have an entire. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Cool. Nice. So Eddie, he sings, Eddie, or no?
Eddie, yep. I recognize that face. I recognize those beautiful eye sockets. Cannot go wrong.
Henry Levasseur is in the building. Frankie sent me. Okay, honestly. You see, Henry said, I think the show's been peaking lately. Exactly. Oh my God. So what does it take to be like a big time model, Imogen, like an elite model, like, the ones with millions of Instagram followers and that are on Gucci ads and stuff like that? Like what type of commitment does it take?
It does take a lot more work than you'd think. Like I still get a little weirded out by it sometimes. It's yes. Hi, Eddie Maiden. I love that guy. it, it really does. Like, fitness is a big part of it, and it's just, I happen to love fitness, and I've kind of made this work. But it's there's always stories about someone being discovered, like Charlize Theron. She sort of had this weird one in a million kind of opportunities where someone really connected to someone in the film industry, fashion industry, something like that, spotted her at the right time at the right place, loved the look, gave her the card, that happened. But that is absolutely not standard. I started producing my own imagery quite a while ago, at least 10 years ago, just because I liked creating imagery.
Okay.
And it was quite ghoulish. It was quite dark. It was not fashion focused. And then as I started networking and talking with, industry photographers, like some of my early correspondence was with Playboy photographers, actually, just conversation. I wasn't trying to get into Playboy, nothing like that. It was just, I was talking to them because I wanted the less adult version of Playboy.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. It was very sexy imagery, but it wasn't nude. I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to have more of the hint and implied and stuff. And so I started talking to Playboy photographers. We connected on MySpace. And I started talking to a lot of people who were building their own career and getting input from them on my imagery, getting guidance from them on my imagery, getting their critiques.
Yeah.
And, like, one of the first people, and this later on became an issue. At the time, it was just like, oh, I'm just talking to some girl. And it was just this girl named Steffi.
Okay.
Who, about a year later, was like number one in all the charts with her song Poker Face.
Yeah.
I was talking to Lady Gaga. So it was Lady Gaga before she was famous. We were chatting on MySpace. And she,
wait, you were talking to Lady Gaga before she became famous?
Yes, sir.
Holy
she was
cow.
she was signing all of her emails as Steph or Steffi. And, she was promoting her own shows. She was doing all of her own legwork that way. Learning the industry. And if you're going to learn how to succeed in a creative industry, you have to do it from the ground up. It's not, you don't hear a lot of long-term success stories from people who just kind of lucked out or at the right place at the right time. Charlize Theron, 1 in a million. The majority of like A-list celebrities, they got there through a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work.
Exactly. Listen, not everybody's going to make it big. Not everybody's going to be on all the billboards. But at the end of the day, it's all like hard work and consistency, right? Right, Frankie? Right, Imogen?
Yes, consistency, 100%.
And then it means, did you hear about that? Bass guy is a really nice guy. He plays with bass guitar on every Friday night.
Yeah, he does. Frankie, Mr. Lantern said, Frankie, can you blow me a kiss?
No.
You can't. Okay. No. Isabella Live 2.0 is in the building. What's up? No slideshows. Okay, hang on a second. He's saying, wow, please show feet to us. Just let us know.
Frankie, show your feet.
Feet reveal, Frankie. Hey, Frankie, are you on a hurricane watch over there? Frankie, listen. Frankie, are you there? Okay, he's showing his feet. Nick wants to know if there's a hurricane watch. Is there a hurricane coming?
Somewhere in Florida, there's a tropical storm. It's not even a tropical storm from Florida.
There's a tropical storm coming to Florida.
It's not a tropical storm. It's just thunderstorms. It's almost a tropical storm or even tropical depression or tropical cyclone. And did you hear about that? I'm the guy that did the video Guys Try See 50 Hot Dogs Once, my most viewed comedy video ever on my YouTube channel.
Exactly. The most watched video is Frankie eating how many hot dogs?
50 hot dogs at once. Pretend to eat 50 hot dogs at once.
The hot stoner chick said to me.
The base guy.
Oh my god. Okay, listen, Imogen, you have a clothing brand, right? You have a website for it. It's what type of clothing do you sell on that site?
At the moment, it's swimwear and lingerie. It's going to be expanding into fitness stuff. By next summer, it's going to be a lot. The whole brand is going to be a lot bigger. That's for sure. Yeah, it's that's kind of where it is.
Okay, so guys, listen. If you're interested, women, and do you make men's clothes as well?
Not at the moment. No, I will be doing some men's stuff later on. Right now, it's a very small fashion brand. But yeah, next year is going to be absolutely insane. That's for sure.
And I
Yeah.
found it that Bay Sky lives in Montreal West Island. Ange lives in Montreal East Island. You and Bay Sky live in the same city.
Exactly. We're gonna definitely book a show for sure. Michael P. Mahan is in the building. He said tomorrow, who is eliminated for the Mahan's Facebook ratings?
That's a good question.
We have another question here. Is she down for BDSM stuff?
Well, that depends.
Oh my God. Okay.
That depends what date we're on.
Anyway, so better take off now.
Ali Joshua is in the building. What's up, Ali Joshua? Thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate you coming here for sure. Is there any other merch or products that you sell, Imogen?
On my website, I actually have a series of postcards and prints from a bunch of my modeling photos. In a few weeks, I'm going to be launching, I think in about 6 weeks, I'm going to be launching a line of fitness supplements. And that is going to be, it's all sports nutrition, but there is going to be a component specifically geared towards men's health.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what's coming down the pipeline. Right now, my entire product line is fairly small: postcards, prints, lingerie, swimwear. But it's definitely expanding into the fitness supplements, and there is going to be CBD products in the mix as well. So
wow.
Cannabis.
Okay. So in the new year, you're gonna see a lot more products for Imogen, guys.
Oh yeah.
What advice can you give somebody who wants to make their own line of clothing, fashion design stuff? Like what like for somebody that's just starting off in 2022? So what advice can you give them?
Don't listen to anyone else. Never listen to anyone else. When someone around you is screaming, "Stop! For the love of Zeus, don't do that!" Go back in the house, get changed. No. Flip them off and strut. That's all I can say. There have been a lot of times where, I've gone out with friends and they're they're looking at me going. There's one memorable day. I was going out with some friends, and one of my buddies just stops and he looks at me and he kind of bites his nails and he goes, "Oh, sweetie, who shot Mrs. Roper? Please, no, I can't look at you." And he's putting as much flamboyancy in this as he can to emphasize how much he absolutely hated what I was wearing.
Oh
and I just sort of emphasized the most hideous part of it, said, no. I'm going to be right next to you. I'm going to have my arm around you, and I'm going to tell everyone that we're married. And you got to deal with that. So you either suck it up and appreciate the John Waters hellscape walking next to you, or you can walk away. And came to a mutual agreement that we would hang out, and you'd shut up about it.
Imogen, you do go on Instagram Live with Frankie, who was just here, and some other interesting people, Gabriel Barardo, and some other, I think the girl Erica Perry from American Idol. Some interesting characters on your Instagram Lives.
Yes.
So why do you do your Instagram Lives? Is it to meet new people? What exactly do you get out of it?
It's a lot of fun. I'm not really sure how to explain the experience. It's a really strange thing. It is fun. It's a weird way of interacting with people without being in the same room and without directly interacting. I can be really bad for social anxiety, but I still like to be in social settings, social groups, stuff like that. So doing the lives is kind of a weird in between. Most of my lives are with Frankie and with Gabriel Barardo, the weather guy. Odd kid. He's a lot of fun. Awkward as all hell. Oh man. Frankie is a little bit unpredictable in his Frankie way, and I like those X factors. I like those elements. Sometimes there are people there. We have viewers who are just seem kind of cool, and we'll just randomly bring people in. Yeah. So sometimes it's an absolute nightmare. Other times we meet some pretty decent people.
How did Sarah Rusi come on the live?
How did who?
Sarah Rusi. How did she come on the live?
That would be Frankie.
Frankie. So Frankie invited Sarah Rusi?
Yes.
Okay.
Frankie, with some of our most interesting people, or with a lot of our more recognizable people that we hang out with, that's Frankie.
I know.
People are just drawn to him. He has crazy fans. He just walks up to people and just says, "Hi, I'm Frankie McDonald. Here's the weather in your area," and now you're friends for life. It's a
exactly, but
thing.
I find for the people that know him and love him, it's amazing. But like for the people that don't know who he's about, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's they might they might judge, they might say, "Who is this guy?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but once you get to know Frankie, you're like, "Oh my god, this guy is just like he's amazing.
He is.
It's so much fun and everything. Like everybody loves him, whatever. Like you were in movies, Imogen, right?
Yes, I've been in a few.
So tell me, like I think you've been in maybe 3 movies, I believe.
Yeah, there's what's kind of funny about working in film is that there's so many things that never see the light of day. Depending on who's producing it, you're not allowed to talk about it because there's non-disclosure agreements all over the place. The creative industry is just so loaded with weird tripwires all over. But in film, like I've worked on a few that have not finished. They've never been finished, but because of contractual agreements, I can't mention them or any of the other players.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I worked on that I had the absolute most fun on was Jackhammer.
Okay.
That one, I did have a couple scenes in it, and then it got re-edited. So I think somewhere I'm in the background. My scenes were cut down in a way where I'm like in the background. But most importantly, like, my main role there was in the makeup department. I did all the cameo actors' makeup on the show or on that film. So like in that one, there's a scene where Peter Shinkoda was the name, Japanese Canadian actor. He's extremely prolific. He was in the Daredevil series. He's been in a ton of stuff. He's one of those actors you recognize him to see him. The guy is ripped. However, in his scene with the lighting, you couldn't see the definition on his abs. So the director comes over and he says, "Hey, Imogen, could you draw abs on this guy so it looks natural?"
Yeah.
I'm going, "Well, yes, but he's fucking ripped. Like, why am I drawing this on?" And then they showed me the lighting test, and they're like, "Oh, the light washes it all out." So I spent like an hour just like meticulously shading abs on a guy who's already like, you could grate cheese on that motherfucker. Like, he was built. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous makeup I've ever done. It was fun. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god. Did you need to get like a title to do these movies, like actor, like a license to be an actress?
Oh, do you need to? Sorry, I'm not clear on the question.
Did you need like a license to start acting?
Oh, no. I started just working on indie movies, independent stuff that was made around town. We have a tremendous film industry in Victoria, so you can, in a lot of cases, you can literally walk onto a movie set and now you're in a scene as an extra. And so I started working on horror movies. Yeah. And one of the first ones I worked on, true to form, never got finished. Night after night, dead winter, covered in fake blood, soaked to the bone. It was, it was fun. Another one that did get finished was Meat Market 3. What we shot, Meat Market 3. So during filming, we're like, okay, this is a ghoulish, disgusting zombie movie. It's going to be blood, gore, mayhem everywhere. Women screaming, babies being torn apart. That's what we filmed.
Oh my God.
The finished product was a psychological thriller where they darkened it in such a way that all the close-ups of the gore, not in it.
I hate psychological thrillers, though. I saw the movie Mother. It was really scary. Like, it was just like, it was insane. Like, you see people walking up the walls, coming out of the walls, grabbing each other. It was like, I was really scared of that movie.
Yeah. And there's a lot that can be done, and they can really fuck with you. This one, well, I was hoping for, like, I was really excited to see the finished product when I was under the impression it was going to be like this gory, massive, disgusting thing, right? Like, I learned a lot about special effects makeup. I learned how to do like foaming mouth blood. So it looks like you're like literally pouring, like you're a rabid zombie with gore pouring out of your face, massive wounds, blood spurting. I was excited about it, right?
Yeah.
The finished product was not that. It was a whole other thing. So when you're expecting one thing and you get something else, it's disappointing. But ultimately it was a really good experience. So
well, I wanted to know, like, you talk about all this gore and stuff, blood, whatever. How did this start? Like, were you like you were born liking this kind of stuff, or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me more about it. Yeah.
I am wired wrong. Absolutely. I was just fascinated with anatomy, science. That's where it came from.
Okay.
So at one point in my early 20s, like as a child, I loved horror movies. I loved the architecture of the scenes. I loved the architecture of fear. That was the biggest thing. Not a lot scared me. So I watched them with fascination, and I would look at the structure. I would look at a murder scene, you know, or Friday the 13th, axe in the head, right? I'm looking at that, I'm going, I want to know how they made that happen. I want to see what the brain looks like. It was curiosity. And all of these like jump scares and monsters chasing after you, I'm like, fascinating. I must know more. In my in my early 20s, me and a roommate, we would stay up late at night. This was back in the days when you could see, there was a website called Gore Gallery. It was all horrific, real death. It was stuff like that. And we would look at that, and I was fascinated by science. I did a lot of reading on medical science, anatomy, neurochemistry, just free study in high school. I would just, on my spare time, I just read these textbooks and learn it. And so in my 20s, my roommate and I, we would look at autopsy photos, crime scene photos, and we'd try to figure out what we were seeing. And based on whatever bits of knowledge I'd picked up from reading these textbooks, recreationally of all things, we'd try to piece together causes of death. And then we would go look at the corresponding medical reports that were there when they were available. And then we'd look at other photos that claimed similar things. And we'd look for similarities and differences and try to put the puzzle together. So really, it was a very, I don't know, I'm just not right in the head, man. Like,
no, but listen, it's interesting, Imogen. Like, you know, some people would say that would be embarrassed to say they like that type of stuff. So it's interesting that you're open enough to say that. You do have a cat, okay? And there's a story that actually went viral about your cat, Morbo. So if you care to tell us a story about what happened with that.
That little jerk played the dirtiest trick on me. I wake up one morning, the cat's nuzzling my hand. He's being cute as anything, sweet as pie, the little bastard. Pushing his face against my hand. I'm not even awake yet. I'm just sort of, you know, scritching, oh, hi, Katie, trying to wake up. And I feel something sticky. And I look at my hand, and it is fucking red. It's covered in blood. I look at him. His throat is torn. He's got a fucking gash on his throat. He's covered in blood. And I'm bleary-eyed. I'm just waking up. I sit up. He hops away from me. I sit up, and my first thought is, do not scare him. Yeah. Do not get his heart rate up. Don't get his heart rate up. He's gonna fucking bleed out. So I have to pick him up. And I catch him eventually. It takes a few minutes. I shake a bag of cookies, and he kind of sits down, and I pick him up, and I scoop him up, and I ran to the bathroom. And I get in the bathroom, and I see on the counter, he has stepped in some of my fake blood. I have synthetic blood that is medical grade because it is used to train paramedics for dealing with real live accident simulations. And I am trained to do casualty simulations, which means creating injuries to train paramedics. Okay. So my fake blood is extremely real looking because it has to be convincing for paramedics. Yeah. And I see that a tube of this blood had burst, and he has stepped in it. And when he stepped in it, his foot is covered in it. He just goes like that. And now he's got blood all over his neck in a very organic pattern.
It's funny because Jess Sorrell has a cat named RJ. It's by the way, what's up, RJ? Jess Sorrell, she's from Australia. So you must have been like freaking out when the cat comes on you full of blood. You thought that something happened to the cat, right?
Terrified. I was so terrified. My stomach dropped. My adrenaline shot through the roof. This cat is my child. Like I think that he's got he's got a grievous wound here. I'm under the impression this little fucker is about to die. And then when I go in the bathroom, I see this shit all over the counter. This little paw prints all over the place. I literally sat on the floor. I hugged him. I wept like a fucking baby. I cried. I'm sitting there rocking him. I'm like, you're okay. Oh, I love you. You're okay. I'm so glad you're okay, my little boy.
Yeah. Also, I want to know something. Your cat, is your cat around? Can you call it?
Give me half a second. I will get him. I'll
Okay, because
shake
I want
his
to see the
cushion.
cat. You have an interesting cat.
Absolutely, yeah.
Guys, her cat looks like Mr. Bigglesworth from Austin Powers.
Margo.
I'm telling you, she's about to get her cat. We're going to see.
Well, let's see if he's going to come out. There he is. Come here, buddy. Snack time. All right. Morbo, up here. Come on. You know what, fuck it, I'll pick him up. That's my little man.
So I want to know something. How does it, like, because the cat is like, it looks almost like Mr. Bigglesworth from Austin Powers, right?
Yes.
Like, how does it end up like that, the skin?
How does a cat? How do you make a cat naked? How do you shave?
Oh, you have to shave it. Okay. So it's shaved, basically.
No. The Canadian Sphinx has 2 recessive genes for hairlessness. In humans, we call it alopecia.
Okay.
All mammals can do this. It can happen to any mammal. Is that there's a gene for baldness, full body baldness. Absolutely.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So with him, there are different types of Sphinx. He's a Canadian Sphinx. He has 2 recessive genes. At any point in his life, he might grow a full coat of hair.
Yeah.
He might just grow like a little patch or socks or whatever. But the Canadian Sphinx, at any point in their life, they can grow a full covering of hair.
Wow.
He does have peach fuzz.
I had no idea. I literally didn't know how they ended up like that. Like maybe you have to shave them or something. That's really cool. I want to know something, Imogen. You know, with all the stuff you do, it's not like necessarily mainstream. It's not what everybody would do. It's a bit out of the norm. How do you deal with people that like, you know, they see this, like, what is that? What is all this stuff? Criticism, hate? How do you deal with all that stuff?
How do I deal with trolls and haters?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, honestly, on that one, I know that I'm gonna get some hate mail over this, but as a kid, maybe not. As a kid in junior high school in particular, I was bullied quite a lot. I dealt with some pretty intense stuff. There was like, I guess maybe that's where I got into running, huh? But it was a thing, and it was pretty bad at times. As a result, I kind of wound up getting into a few fights here and there. Not a lot, for the most part. I would get out of it. But there was the silver lining to it, the benefit. There was a benefit for me getting bullied in that I have a real thick skin about a lot of stuff. Yeah. I learned early on how to filter out the shit. There's something to be said for topically paying attention. There might be a valid criticism that you're looking for that you need. Like if you're kind of a little curious about something about yourself and that's reflected in criticism and feedback, whether it's good or bad, sometimes we need to hear that. But it's also real important to be able to just say, go fuck yourself. Like, so I learned very early on. Yeah. So currently, with, you know, trolls being a lot more anonymous, there's no face-to-face with it. But with stuff being online, I find it a lot easier to ignore the faceless, the anonymous, you know, the John Doe with an obviously fake account that they created just to be able to say, man, you suck. Like,
Oreo, which actually stole your picture, is saying, do you do StreamYards? Like, do you go live on YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube channel. The main one that I use, I actually have like 3 or 4, but the main one that I actually use, that I started using a little bit, is called Buds and Bongs. It's all about weed. Everything has weed in the mix somewhere.
Wow. So you have like a podcast?
No, I don't do a podcast. It's pointless shit. I never really.
It's just a live stream. Okay.
Well, it's not even live stream. I never really got all that familiar with YouTube as a platform.
Yeah.
My first YouTube channel was sort of, it was more focused on MMA and combat sports. So it would be like pre-fight interviews that I was filming. I wasn't interviewing, but I was filming. There'd be clips like post-fight interviews. There might be some clips from some of the fighters in training. It started as stuff like that, and then kind of got a little bit nature focused, I think, animal, pets. And then at some point I'm like, I'm filming weed stuff. It started with being involved with marijuana groups on Facebook, really. Me and my friend, we would live stream when we were just doing bong hits.
So
it was
it's just a bunch of stuff that maybe might not be successful on YouTube, right? Because of like the nature of everything, you know?
yes. YouTube
Yeah.
isn't overly friendly for marijuana. So there are definitely limitations there, and I don't really promote the YouTube page a lot. It's just sort of
Yeah.
somewhere that I put all my bong videos or
Yeah.
weed videos, and yeah, more.
Yeah.
I think there's some of my fitness ones on there, and yeah, every video on there has weed in the mix somewhere. Some
Nice.
capacity is marijuana.
So what's next for Imogen in the future? Any upcoming projects, things you have to announce?
The biggest thing that I'm working on is my supplement brand.
Okay.
I'm just so excited about that one. The lab that I'm working with, the developers that I'm working with, the ingredients are the number one thing. I'm not looking for fillers, cheap shit, nothing like that. I'm really specific because every product that I'll be promoting, every product that I'll be putting that'll be alongside or signed onto or have my name on, it's all stuff I actually use.
Okay.
With the exception of a couple of men's care things. Like, there's a beard oil recipe I'm looking at that I'm really liking, and I may be of European descent, but that beard's just not coming in.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. I think I'd look good with like a little goatee, nice Fu Manchu. I'm trying. It's just not working.
Okay.
But yeah, so because it's all stuff that I use personally, it's stuff I'm very specific about the ingredients. So if I'm not willing to put it in my body, I'm sure shit not gonna say to anyone else, here's something you should put in yours.
Yeah. Interesting. Imogen, listen, you're one of the most unique and maybe I would say mysterious people we've ever had on the show. So kudos to you. I want to thank you. I want to thank Frankie McDonald, everybody that came out today, guys. Thank you very much for coming on. Imogen, I wish you a very, very happy holidays. What do you got? You got any plans for the holiday season?
That's a good question. I do things in a really fluid manner. Like there's a lot of stuff that it's unplanned, and like I'm going to be having Christmas dinner with some friends tomorrow. I don't have anything specific scheduled, but I'm probably going to track down some other friends, do another dinner, call up a relative, and just say, hey, let's hang out and roast something.
Okay, so it's all spontaneous. Like you have spontaneous Christmas plans. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, so guys, like I said, guys, stay safe, be careful. Whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the United States, try and like limit gatherings. Obviously, like enjoy the times with your family. Eat. There's the cat morbo. There it is.
Yep.
Nick has a question. Imogen, who's your favorite YouTube fitness trainer?
My favorite YouTube fitness trainer. Oh, that is a good question. There's that YouTube specifically. I'm not sure what if either of the people I follow most heavily are on YouTube, but on Instagram, the page is Legendary Perry. She is super cool. Celia Gaviani as a powerlifter, I absolutely adore her. She is just amazing. And then Chester Dion is another one. I love his page. It's just really cool.
Do you work out every day?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been doing it every day.
Every day, wow.
Yeah, on days where like there've been a couple of times where like I was laid up, I was really sick. There was an incident where there was just like something went sideways and I just couldn't move for a couple of days. But that whole time I was using the hand grips.
Yeah.
Like I refused to have a day of zero fitness. So at my most weakest point, I was not going to accept it. I will not accept limitations.
Wow.
It's when I'm working out, like I do have some old sports injuries and whatnot. And so when I'm working out, if something like that starts acting up, I will modify and I will destroy the barrier. I refuse to accept it. And so if, for example, my knee is doing really bad, I'll shift from that to core, or I'll focus on my calves. Like I'll do like a whole lot of like, calf raises. My knee's acting up, I'll slap a brace on and I'll just change course, but I'm still going to get to the finish line.
But do you eat out? Like do you eat like McDonald's sometimes? Is like, you know what I mean?
Occasionally I do. I don't eat McDonald's. The one I actually go to is Wendy's because I found that there's some stuff there I can modify.
Yeah.
So like you can make modifications. So I'll look at the ingredients and they have a really cool nutritional fact sheet on there. So every item, they tell you the nutritional value. And so I'll go, I'll take something and I'll go like, you know what, let's take the bun off of it. I'll just get them to throw all the ingredients into like a little bucket, like a little trough. I'll ask for extra lettuce, extra pickles, extra onions, get the cheese off there because I don't need it. And now I've got something that's more like a weird takeout salad. So I do, but it's not standard, like, give me a quarter pounder and fries and a mega tub of soda. Like, I don't drink soda. I just don't like it. So.
Oh, you don't like soda? Okay. Well,
not
it's
really,
good
no.
that you don't like it because it's like a habit. Like,
Every once in a while, I think, man, I really want like a can of root beer. And I'll take like a few sips. I'm like, wow, I've just drank soda. Okay, cool, done. That's it. A couple sips and I'm good for like another year.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Yeah. Like I said, Imogen, thank you very much for coming on. We'll definitely have to do some lives during the holidays with Frankie. I'll try and hop on. We'll see if we get some other people too. It's amazing because you meet all kinds of people from everywhere. Eh? Like it's really interesting, and it's always fun. Guys, thank you very much for coming. Also, guys, don't forget I have a second channel. It's called Ange Collects. So, Imogen, do you like collecting stuff?
Oh, pardon? Your sound cut out a little bit.
Do you like collecting stuff? Like, do you have a collection of stuff? Like
do
cards,
I collect stuff?
Yeah.
Oh boy, do I ever!
Really? What do you collect?
I have some pretty crazy collections. I have records. Records are a big one. Yep. Okay. 1 second here. Eddie spotted this. So we have that as a starting point up there.
Nice.
Is the entire Cannibal Corpse discography is on my wall.
Wow. That's
coming
cool.
this way. Yeah, there's Old Rock, Molly Hatchet. There's David Bowie up there.
We've got original. That's the original albums and everything.
Yeah, we've got that. Lots of stuff here. Over in the corner behind, there's a mannequin over there. Yeah,
a mannequin. Okay.
Yeah, so behind the mannequin, there's there's Motown R&B. That's there. I've got cabinets. Yeah, check this out. There's I don't know how you can see that, but there's a whole bunch of that there. Mm-hmm. There's 2 or 3 more cabinets like that.
Nice. Imogen collects because I have a channel basically. Imogen, it's called Ange Collects. If you guys like collecting, go check it out. Like, comment, subscribe. We're doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers. So that's interesting. I open cards mostly, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, hockey cards, all kinds of sports cards. So that's pretty interesting. Wow, it's a really nice collection you have, Imogen. Your whole wall is full of CDs. Wow, I'm sure some of them are rare for sure.
Tons of records. Yeah, I love my vinyl.
Okay, interesting. And Exhumed Visions is in the building too. What's up, Exhumed Visions? How are you, my friend? So guys, like I said, check out Ange Collects if that does interest you. Happy holidays, guys. Have an amazing Christmas. Me and Imogen are going to be signing out, guys. Catch us maybe on Instagram during the holidays. I'm sure we're going to be doing a live. Take care, Morbo. Signing out with Imogen. Guys, good night. Ciao. Bye.